Hello and welcome to Toy Vet episode 24. This is the show where I react to upcoming toy releases. I have here a list of upcoming toy releases that I saw, knew I would want to take a second look at, and for the most part, instead of taking that second look, I waited till now to do that here with you. So I'm having fairly fresh reactions, although I have seen these things before. And as you can see, I don't have the normal amount that I usually have. I usually have 10 things to look at, plus the 2 we look at every week. Didn't get that for this week, and usually I have a stockpile going forward of weeks to come. So I'm a little dry at the moment. Hopefully I will catch up in the future, and we'll have more episodes to go in the future. I did mention before that if I really run dry, well, first of all, for this channel, I have a special video I'm working on, but won't be done for probably a couple months just because of some factors. Don't worry, it's nothing too special. And I also have another channel that I want to work on in the near future, and I only have time to do 1 episode for YouTube per week, so if I ever have a week like this in the future and I'm ready to go on the other channel, I might just make an episode of that. So if I disappear, that's why. And it's unrelated to this channel pretty much completely, so I won't even mention what it is. Although if you're curious, feel free to message me. I'll let you know what it is. Yeah, so let's take a look at the few things we do have this week. Might be a shorter episode. We'll see what happens. First up is Clomper by Chris Reiniak. It's like a humanoid lobster guy. Pretty cool. He's like jacked but cute. I do like him a lot. I wonder how big he is. 4 inches tall, $100. Pulling out the ruler. You can probably hear it. That's pretty small for $100 in my mind, because I get plenty of gacha toys that are just as big as this and cost like $7. And just as cool. Just as big, just as cool, $7. So it is pretty neat, but I'd like it to be like double the size for this price, and just for my taste, since I'm used to getting those really cool gacha pieces for that cheap. But pretty cool. Cool figure. Next, Mossy, the Mini Moss Spirit, Elderberry Elixir by Moonbot. There's a whole big description here. It says there's a microscopic Taro the Tardigrade on here. Let's see if we can see it. I don't see that little guy anywhere. Maybe I'm blind. Or maybe it's on the back, so we only have this picture. I think this is a... Strange Cat has shows at their physical store, and I think this might be from that, possibly. And they sell the stuff online too. I'm not sure. I see their logos here, and I think the email this came in, there were a ton of figures like this, and they were all by the same artist. This is 5 centimeters tall and costs $75. So, yeah, it's like 2 inches tall. Very small. It has that hand-painted look, but it looks really nice. That can go either way. I've talked about this before, and I don't know if I'm contradicting myself, but the hand-painted look can go either way, kind of. Like, I have a hand-painted Sofubi figure, and it has a great finish on it, and it actually looks awesome that way. Some hand-painted stuff you see looks a little bad. This looks great to me. Looks really good. It doesn't have that, like, industrial toy finish look to it, which I like that look. I'm not saying that's bad. I actually like that look. It has the sort of a home painted look, but like the eyes are incredibly well done, very artistically well done. And it looks good for what it is, but it is small. Cool figure though. Alright. Next. Little Scribbles, Big Dreams, Mossy Sweet Spring by Moonbot. So this is another in that same series that I was just talking about. Definitely has that hand-painted look, but again, very artistically done. Especially the eyes. And here we can see the back. I still don't see the microscopic thing they're talking about. Maybe by that they mean it's not visible. Maybe it isn't visible. But yeah, the weird thing for me with the hand painted on some of it, like I said, I really like that industrial finish look a lot of toys have. I've done some like blanks and miniatures painting and stuff, and this looks like something, as far as the finish, I couldn't do these artistically, obviously, but as far as the finish, this looks like something I've done myself. So it looks a little cheap in a certain sense, because I know I could do a finish like this. Not that I could do the artistry like this at all. This is extremely well done, but the finish I could do. This is $400, it's a one-off, and it's 12 centimeters. That's interesting. So it's almost 5 inches, much better size. Oh yeah, and it does say it's a gallery item, so there you go. There is some kind of show going on. So it ships 28 days after show opening because they will display it for people to go see. I would love it. Strange Cats physical stores in Florida. It would be amazing to live near it and actually get to go see, not just just to go see the normal toys there, but also these shows they have. Really cool. So another cool figure, but anyway. Okay, so Little Scribbles Big Dreams. I think this is the name of the show. The show at the gallery there at Strange Cat Toys. Little Scribbles Big Dreams, The Forest Oracle by Moonbot. This is a one-off as well. So, okay. It's a hand-painted resin figure with hand-sculpted additional elements, and it's on Nervous Rex Drone Blank DIY resin platform. It's 10 centimeters. So a little smaller than the last one we just looked at. And we do have some extra pictures here. So, yeah, I might sound like a jerk here, but knowing that this is from a blank DIY figure, to me, this one specifically, the other stuff we've looked at is very, very artistically super well done. To me, this looks almost like something done by an amateur, not a professional, who would get $500 for it. This kind of looks like something that would be in like a Discord contest or something. Although it might win that contest because it's really, really good. I want to look up what the blank looks like. Nervous Rex Drone. I'm going to cut the display feed while I do this because you never know what you're going to get when you Google toys. I'm getting bad results. Nervous is spelled weird. Sorry. This is now just a podcast. With no visuals. Let's see. Trying to find what the blank looks like. Striking out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, sorry if I haven't done that in a while, and if anyone's wondering why I do that, cut the visual feed, it's because when you go looking at designer toy stuff, there's a lot of inappropriate stuff out there, and I don't want that stuff on my channel, and I also hate editing, so I just cut the feed while I do on the fly Googling like this, so that I don't have to edit later. So here's what the blanks look like. And here's the result here. Awesome job, but like I said, not as professional looking as the others. So 500 bucks is a bit steep, but cool nonetheless. Next. Little Scribbles Big Dreams, Shumi, Rainbow Tangerine Dream. This is a one-off, and it's Sofubi, and it's 6.5 centimeters. And as you can see down here, here's a bunch of other stuff from the show, including more of these Shumis. It's 6.5 centimeters, so it's shorter than the others still, or the last couple we've looked at anyway. Very cool color choices on it. Sort of, at least in this photo, doesn't have that hand-painted finish look. It looks more professional as far as the finish goes. Cool figure. It's cool that it's Sofubi. Although, see, to me, when I hear Sofubi, I think big figures, not 6.5 centimeter figures. Of course, there are plenty of small Sofubi figures, and some of them I'm even interested in. But in general, when I hear Sofubi, I think like 14-inch tall figures and stuff like that. But cool little figure. Next, you notice pretty much everything is cool, but definitely not going on my list. From Toys R Evil, we have Sapien Studios. Some releases here. Glow-in-the-dark editions of Bob, ELO, and Cora Cora. We've looked at these guys before, and these are these cool glow-in-the-dark versions of them. I wonder if we can get to the store and look at more details. Here we go. Head over to my Instagram. Okay, we need to go to his Instagram. Which I think there was a link here. Unless this is Toys R Evil's. Okay. So there's some one more picture than we had before. So it's a lottery. And it prioritizes collectors. That's interesting, meaning he says here you show a picture that you have any of his other stuff and he'll first come, first serve give you one of these. For new collectors, you're in a lottery. But I wonder how he determines, like, say there's a bunch of new people and a bunch of returnees. I guess the returnees just get it first. I like to see what these look like when they're not glowing. I guess they're just one straight color. So I've looked at these before and thought they're cool figures. I don't know about the burger, although I kind of like burgers in general, but these two guys I've looked at before and thought was cool. In fact, are they on my interest list? I think I might have just put this whole studio on here, like Sapien Toys. Let's search. Maybe not. Let's see. I have some random Instagrams here. That's not it. That is it. Yeah, so I do have it on my interest list. This guy in general. Yeah, they're cool figures. That guy is among these, and then that guy looks cool. I feel like I've seen him before, not in the glow in the dark too. Let's see what the price is. 120 SGD. $93. So, depending on the size, that's a decent price. If this is the size we're looking at, that's a good price to me. If they're, you know, these, what is this, like 6 inches or so? Something like that, and very chunky and wide and big. The burgers are really big. That's a good deal. I like that price point. And I like that he's doing a collector thing. Like, I'd love to see that from Mechnoise or something that I own already and would get that priority if I was interested in something. Yeah, let's see. And the postage, rest of the world, 35. However much that would be. It's coming from Singapore, $27. Not horrific. Yeah, cool figures. I'm not going to put them on my list, but I do like them a lot. I already have... I have a Sofubi toy from Creature Maker Toys that's like the same size and chunkiness level, and I sort of like am not sure I need another one unless I was really, really into it, which these I'm kind of into. Kind of like maybe if I didn't have one at that size I would be more into it, but since I do, yeah, that guy's really cool. And is that the glow in the dark guy? I think so. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, it makes me not want these as much or anything of this size as much, although I would get something if it'd just have to be really, really cool. So that's all the it's all the stuff I have for this week besides what we look at weekly. So 4 less than usual, sorry about that, but let's go ahead and look at Mechnoise, which we look at every week. So we looked at this last week, right? Yeah, this is a custom by some guy. It's not for sale that I know of. This is a cool photo, and so is this, but it's Evangelion, which I'm not into. Let's just take a look at the price point. $100 US, 11.5 inches. See, this is what I'm talking about with Sofubi. 11.5 inches, and this is a great price point. Very cool figure. It's obviously not painted with any details like this one is. It's one flat color, or maybe a couple colors, or maybe this is a translucent stuff or whatever. But anyway, I'm not into Eva. So nothing new for me here necessarily. And then the Galaxy people. Let's look at that. Nothing new from Galaxy People yet. We saw these little guys. Here's an example of what I think these are Sofubi, probably. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he does in general. And they're going to be small figures, but these are what I was thinking of when I was saying there's some small Sofubi that I'm into, because this guy does really cool stuff, like these guys. They're very small, but very cool. And I'm not sure how small they are, actually. They might be slightly bigger than you think. I'm not sure. And yeah, these are going to be like Spider Rider guys or something. Let's see if there's a picture of him selling stuff where we can see his little guys. I don't see any there. I'm gonna cut this because as I scroll back up, there's something slightly inappropriate on the screen, and now I have to do an edit, which I hate doing. Yeah, anyway, these are small but cool. I'm not sure the exact size. We'll figure it out someday if we ever need to. Actually, you know what to do? I'll try it now since we have extra time to kill in a way. I'm going to scroll past the inappropriate thing and try to find what we're looking for. So here we are back. You can sort of get a gauge here. These are some of his small figures, and there's a big one in the background. Let's see if there's something better though. There's some more. Maybe this. Okay, so here you can see this is his small size figures right there. Yeah, they're pretty small. I want to look at one other thing real quick, so I'm going to turn this off while I scroll up. Sorry about that. Let's see. I'm back on, right? Yeah. Just wanted to look at two things. First off, is this guy, I thought he has two sizes of figures, but I'm looking at this, I'm like, there's the smaller ones, there's the bigger ones, and is this one even bigger? Or is that the same size as this guy? I guess it's the same size as this guy. And then I'm also like, these guys are really cool. I wish I knew who made these, but there's no link or anything. So I've talked multiple times about how I'm planning to buy one more bigger figure before my budget has changed already, but I have some money saved up for this type of thing. So my budget has changed. I have less money to buy toys. Not that I bought a lot to begin with, but I'm doing one more of each category of toy I'm into in a certain way, and one of the last ones is going to be a big figure. And I have a couple possibilities out there, and I'm probably going to make a decision on it in July, what I'm going to get or plan to get. And the more and more I think about it, I think I might just be putting that money aside and waiting until something is available from the Galaxy People. Because I'm really loving his figures, his big size figures like these two right here. He doesn't have any available at the moment. Actually, we'll double check that before we leave. So I'm thinking about just waiting until he has something available online for online buyers and jumping on it. Let's just double check his store real quick. All he has is these sold out small figures, and this console is still available. Galaxy People show at the Clutter Gallery. Should we look at that real quick? That was back in 2021. I'm going to turn this off and follow this link, see if it's directly to his show. If not, It's just saying clutter has moved. Alright, so we will end the show there. Shorter. Well, how long are we going? Can I even tell on here? 25 minutes, so decent length despite not having as much content as usual. Sorry about that. We'll see where we're at next week. And like I said, if I disappear for a week, it's because I'm working on the other channel, but I will be back. Especially if I don't have much content, but at the moment I'm not set up to do anything with the other channel, so I might just be doing shorter shows like this until we get to that point, but hopefully a bunch of stuff will load up my lists here and we'll be good anyway. Sometimes when I'm in a dry spell like this, Strange Cat will come out with an email newsletter with a bajillion gacha things on it, all packed in, even though normally they don't do that. And I'll just like a ton of them and fill up multiple episodes with just that stuff. So maybe something like that'll happen. Anyway, thanks for watching. Good night.